Welcome back to Valley Boys TCGCK here, and we're starting off the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're starting off our first video with Battle Spirits. We have a couple things in the can. Over the holiday Christmas break, we did get a few videos for both Battle Spirits and Digimon, but we're starting off with the Battle Spirits video just because, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of liking Battle Spirits a little more than Digimon recently. Maybe I just like the gameplay. It's a little more interactive. Don't get me wrong, I still love Digimon, but I've been focusing a little more on Battle Spirits. So here we go, and this is our first time. The first time I'm playing White. My whole intention was to play White before the game even dropped. I love the look of the White Spirits, and it took me till set 3 to finally build a White deck and play it at locals. So we have our White Guardian. We're playing the White Tiger this time around, and we're going against a Green Bug deck, or the Green Ant Swarm deck. So you see they get the Ant City down, they get a Mishandled, which forces us to discard a card. We have a Naumannguard City turn 1, which lets us play the Duck for free, which is such a great way to start off with White. I think this is my favorite way to start a turn. If I have a Naumannguard City and the Duck in my hand, great turn 1 going second for White. Also, I'm really liking this White Tiger. I know the Frost Guardian hasn't been used much. White usually has the identity of being focusing on Naumannguard and the big spirits, but honestly, Frost Tiger is a very good card. In my opinion, it combines Pegasione, which we just played there, with the ability of Derm Dyna. If you get your Diamond Sanctuaries down, he can make some spirits unblockable, and of course he can block while exhausted. So honestly, he's a very good spirit, and I'd encourage anybody to try out the deck focused on him. But here we go, we're starting off. We have a pretty good board state to start us off. We have Pegasione, who's going to be able to block while exhausted as long as they have 2 or fewer cores. We have the battle boost thanks to the Naumannguard City, since it's at level 2 now. And the Duck is just kind of chilling for now until it has a chance to poke, or in case we're able to Dream Bomb or Avalanche something during their turn. And so we see the Worker Ant-Man come down, probably the best green spirit to come out of set 2. Worker Ant-Man's so good, puts in so much work, not just in green decks, in any deck in general, honestly. And the Ants strike back, so here we go. He's gonna start going wide, getting all his spirits on board. Not just flooding the board, but also reduction. Now the thing is, he's spreading his cores kind of thin, so with so many spirits, you only have so many cores, he won't be able to core them up past 2 cores each, probably, which means that I will be able to block. And I'm reminding him there, he wants to swing in with the Worker Ant-Man to ramp up, but he did move his cores around. Now, I believe if he just takes the core off the token, because it looks like one of those tokens has 2 cores, if he moves it to the Worker Ant, there we go. So yeah, he moves it to the Worker Ant-Man, and I think I'm explaining it there, as long as he has 2 or fewer, so he realizes. And so we step back before combat steps so that he can make his moves around. Again, we're always friendly at locals. We try to help each other out. Even in tournament settings, we still kind of try to help each other through misplays or understand each other's deck. Because not everybody gets to play every color. So sometimes, and we do have newer players. Pegasione's a set 1 release, so some people haven't seen it in a while. Pegasione's one that really kind of fell off, and so they swing in, get their core ramp, and pass end turn there. And so we're just gonna go ahead and core up the Peggy. Not play anything this turn. I don't think we need to play anything. We're in a good position here. Peggy's gonna do a lot of work for us. We go ahead and swing in. Now you see that when they dropped the Mishandled, we dropped a Sheriff Eagle. That card I found is really strong White card. Just being able to block if you can suppression with it, or infinite, and if we see another Ant strike back, so now he's really flooded the board. But again, this is going to pose a problem because he's only going to have enough cores to leave 1 or 2 cores on each spirit, even with, you see, no cores in trash. So since he's completely wide open, we go ahead and let the Duck swing in. This is our chance for Duck to swing in. But he's got nothing, everything's suspended, so and now his turn refreshes, and really that Ant City is what's really helping. He gets those tokens out and he gets to get the cores back. So He's realizing we do have armor. You see that he has the Beldigor in hand. I think he wanted to drop Beldigor to pop the Peggy. He can't drop Beldigor to pop the duck, but he decides to core up Ant City so that he can use the effect for every core that's on it. It gets plus 1,000, I believe. So if he wants, he can sack some tokens to make one of the tokens really big, so that way if I try to block it, well, I wouldn't even be able to block it at that point. If he gets it too big, I wouldn't be able to block it. So he's kind of in a stuck point. He has the Worker Ant-Man cored up, so he can swing with that one. And yep, looks like he's going to go ahead and pay the cores to drop the Beldigor, sacking a token to pop the duck, since the other one does have armor. Now again, none of these are going to be able to swing except for Worker Ant-Man, which is what he wants. I mean, Worker Ant-Man's the one you want to swing with so you can get core up. But the problem is he's going too wide, and we just dropped the ice shield there. But he's going too wide, so he's not able to get these cored up to be able to swing in. So, and we pay the cores off the Peggy for that ice shield to end turn. So it's our turn. We only have one spirit out, but honestly Pegasus is gonna hold it down for us for a bit so we can get a little more done, and we're just gonna core it up again. I think the call here, and really this is a rough matchup for him. White has such a good way to counter. Ooh, we have Ritual Fire, which is going to be able to pop a few things. I think we'll be able to get rid of the Worker Ant-Man, which is probably the bigger threat. And I would say a token. I don't know if I'd want Beldigor in the trap. Yep, I guess we went with Beldigor after all, so that he can't double Beldigor, no reduction. And then we just core up Peggy. We can swing in to cause him to... Oh, we didn't even swing in. Interesting. We could have swung in. We could have chip damage, but I guess not. We're just going to hold off. He didn't have a burst, so might as well have chip damage. But he's just going to core up now. So that way that token is going to be pretty big. Now, Peggy's pretty big himself. Or Pegasus is pretty big. We should be able to block. But we can afford to take a damage. We're still at 3 life. We're both at 3 life. So there is a sequence here where he can be able to get through. I think he's realizing the cored up token probably isn't big enough, but honestly, if he put them all at 3, if he put 3 cores on all of them, see, yeah, if he had put 3 cores on all of them, he would have gotten 2 hits in. Here he's gonna have 1 big token, which is too big for me to take, so I'll go ahead and let that one go to life, and well, I can just ice shield it away. Technically, I didn't even have to pay because I could have just blocked the rest of them. Could have. I guess it doesn't really make a difference there. So we got our cores up. Yeah, I think if he had put 3 on all of them, I would have only been able to block 1. And here comes the Guardian. Guardians who we've been waiting for. Guardian is so going to come in clutch here because now we have 2 spirits that can block while exhausted. Peggy can block and Guardian can block as well. Guardian's a 9k, so it's going to be an even bigger blocker. Yeah, we want to try to get... we're 1 core short. If we could have 1 more core, we can core up our Naumannguard City to make Guardian able to block 10k as long as they don't have a soul core. That's the one caveat to Guardian, is it can only block as long as they don't have a soul core. And so here he decides to sack a token to not take a life. We go ahead and swing at Peggy, see if we can get rid of the token or take a life. And that time he decides to go ahead and let the life go through. So we're completely exhausted, but we have spirits that can block while exhausted. So that kind of works for us. White is a very defensive deck. And it's interesting. Oh, here he drops the Ritual Fire, but then I remind him that Guardian's too big for Ritual Fire, and Peggy has armor red. So he realizes that. I tell him go ahead and take it back because he didn't realize it had armor. And again, like I said, locals, we're all friendly with each other. You know, big misplays like that, we catch them. We let them we let them reverse course. That's not a big issue here. see he's in a, you see he's got Thorn Prison and Alarain, and yes, they can exhaust. At least she does get a core up for the Void. Even if they exhaust spirits, we're kind of a bad matchup because it doesn't matter if they exhaust us, we can still block while exhausted. So I'm reminding him of what my BPs are at and who can block what. So Peggy can block anything with 2 or fewer cores, and Frost can block anything that doesn't have a soul core. So I think this is where he's got, I think he should have moved the soul core over to the ant token and corded up large so that way he would have survived. I think he would have been able to get a chip damage in that way. But here we get our turn, and now we're able to core up everything. So now we're basically on max defense. We have Naumannguard to give us an extra 1,000 during our opponent's turn. So Frost Tiger will be at 10,000. I believe Peggy... Oh, we don't fully core up Peggy. Okay. Oh, we're okay because we're getting Grey Armor. Okay. So we got Grey Armor out. So yeah, very, very defensive. I liked the white deck, except how slow it plays. Honestly, I'm not big on stall. I like to play a little more aggro. And Frost Tiger can do that if I see my Sanctuaries. I have not seen a Diamond Sanctuary to be able to go in unblockable. So we go ahead and swing in. We're at 9k. He's got nothing that can really block it, or nothing big enough to block it. He blocks with the little token. And then I believe he... Oh, no flash. See, I think you would want to flash here. He has a Thorn Prison in hand. He could have flashed the Thorn Prison. And we just end turn, okay. But again, we're still in a good spot. We still have plenty of defensive options. Ooh, Hunger Tree comes down. Hunger Tree can get pretty big. 6k, 3 cores. He's just moving things around. Now the Ant-Man can get big and can't be blocked by... Can't be blocked by Frost Tiger. We still have a big defensive wall. It's gonna be really hard for him to get around. Really, he needs to exhaust all my spirits and then have something chip in. If he had put the Soul Core on Hunger Tree and then played the Thorn Prison, could have swung in with the Hunger Tree unimpeded. Maybe that would have been the play. Or he could have swung with that. He should have exhausted, and then he would have been free to swing with one thing as long as it had at least 3 cores and the soul, one of them being a soul core. Then he would have been safe there. Okay, this is a misplay, a large misplay. I played Dimensional Rift, and for some reason I thought it said I could play from trash and not from hand. So I bring out the Sheriff Eagle from trash. So again, this is a big misplay on my part, and I apologize for that. But as you'll notice, you'll see in the gameplay, it does nothing. We never use it. We never attack with it. We never block with it. It does nothing because it ends up getting sacked later on, as you'll see in this gameplay. So just know, yes, that's a misplay on my part, but also it doesn't really affect gameplay because it just sits there. It never actually contributes to the game state. So we swing in Tiger. He blocks with the Hunger Tree to force me to trash a card from hand. We trash another Naumannguard City because we have one on board already. We don't need another. And then this is where I realize, oh, that's right, he can just get Beldegor right back out of the trash. So he's got extra blockers. I didn't account for the Beldegor, but it's okay because there's nothing it's gonna pop with it. It's just basically another block, and I realize I can't. He's gonna be able to block everything, so we just pass our turn there. So this is where the game kind of slows down because we're basically playing a staring match. There's not much we can do. You saw he has another Ritual Fire in hand, but we have Armor Red on the 2 spirits he can use it on. Oh, we see the Viridian Dragon Rider. So that one is interesting because that's a starter deck green card that doesn't get much play. It's a good Carapace card. Gets some core ramping when destroyed. Yeah, he's just explaining the effects because it's one that I have not come across very often. Not many have played it. And he's recoring, moving things around. It's a very tricky matchup because which way do you go with it? He's coring things up. Goes ahead and swings with the big rune. That's all he's telling me about the 2 cores, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's just explaining when it gets destroyed. Get 2 cores. And so I'm deciding if I want to ramp him, but I don't think he has too many cards in hand for it to be an issue. So we go ahead and block. We make a marker there that shows that it can block anything without a soul core. We just put that on there to remember that it can still block. So sack his new one, which gets him 2 more cores. So he's going to core up like crazy. I mean, he's already, between Worker Ant-Man, Alarain, and now that, he's definitely winning the core battle, but we have the white wall is there. We have a steel curtain up. It's really hard for him, or the ice wall is up. It's really hard for him to get through that. Back to our turn. I think the play here is just core up Peggy and our Nexus and just chip away as we can with those. Oh no, we drop a Volcanic Canyon. Okay, might as well get some cycle going for next turns. I think we're really searching for our diamond. Oh, and then we place... Okay, we place a flash. Place a burst card there. Okay. Swing in with the tiger. See what he wants to do with it. And we see Scope Owl come in. Oh yeah, such a good card. Such a tricky card. He probably should have blocked with the Beldegor first and then Scope Owl so that he could get Beldegor right back the next turn. Within the same turn. I think that would have been the better play. So Scope Owl, I exhaust Peggy. And then I just end my turn there. Yeah, because Scope Owl is a 4-cost, I think I would have blocked with Beldegor first. Here comes Ant-Man General, so here comes the ants again. We're getting tokens up again. And the Ant Sanctuary is going to bring back another core from the void, not from the void, from trash, sorry. So now we're doing the core dance again, and we see that he gets the ant token there all cored up, because now it's going to be a very, very big token body. What is that? 9, 10, 12? It's going to be 11k? Yeah, 11k swinging in. Or 11k blocking, depending on what he wants to do with it. So I can sacrifice my Grey Armor there. Technically, I could sacrifice the Eagle that shouldn't even be in play, but like I said, Eagle doesn't make a difference. We see the Infinity Shield get trashed from the Canyon. It's interesting. I figured I'd want to keep that in hand for the Eagle. He's got plenty of cores, but he's running out of hand resources. Oh, we get the Naumannguard out. Okay. And we decide to sack 2 to get Naumannguard up to level 2 so that we can get that refresh. And now it's just going to be about pushing in with Elephant and Tiger. Yep, swinging with Naumannguard first. And he blocks with Ant-Man General. Okay. And then I guess the call is to swinging with Tiger to chip Oh, no, we don't. We just... Oh, because, yeah, he has the ants. Very big ant token. So we would lose our tiger there. We definitely need the sanctuary now. All right, we're sitting good here. We've got our blockers. If he swings with the big boy, then we can block with the Naumannguard and get some more draw, because I believe we're really running out of cores now, or running out of hand, or we might be completely out of hand. I think our hand is completely dead. I don't think there's any cards in hand from the looks of it, because I have nothing laid out. So it's interesting. This game one was very long. I will admit that. So here he drops the Deadly Balance and pops his Beldegor. I'm about to do the Naumannguard thing, and then I realize that I don't get the effect because technically he isn't deleting me. I'm deleting one of my own. So Naumannguard needs you to delete one of your opponent, or it needs to be deleted by your opponent, and you're selecting yourself. So yeah, the way it's worded, basically Naumannguard wouldn't work here, and we're forced to... Is it the tiger? Or is this where Sheriff goes away? Yeah, Sheriff Eagle goes away. Shouldn't even been on the board either way, so that is unfortunate. Start off this turn now with a Star Bless draw. We definitely need some things. Luckily, having that canyon only makes it a 3 cost. We do get a reduction, and we had another Sheriff Eagle in hand, so traded the eagle for another eagle essentially. So now we go ahead swinging with the elephant. He's calculating what he wants to block with, whether it's worth sacrificing something. He does block with the big ant, which will ramp us some cards. That was desperately needed. He didn't want to lose any more spirits. I needed the card draw in the course. So that definitely worked out in our favor. Now we can kind of... I think we're free to swing in with the tiger now. Tiger will be able to block, and Sheriff Eagle will be able to block anything as well because it survives. So we're good here. We're either going to reduce his board or we're going to get to chip him to 1. Yeah, again, like I said, this game 1 was a very, very long game 1. Just a lot of back and forth and a lot of stalling. We ended up going to time right as we started. So he's coring up everything. He's got some big boys on board, but we should be able to block everything. And there we go. That's the smarter play. Because he'll definitely get through there. Now he's got an ant that's too big for me to block with the tiger, but I can block with the eagle and it'll survive. And then Frost Tiger can block the other token, but I won't be able to block Alarain. So Alarain should be attacking second. He should swing with the big token first to force me to block with the eagle or take the hit and presumably Ice Shield. Oh, he swings with Alarain first. Oh, because he's attacking to use the effect to exhaust me, but then Sheriff Eagle does have armor green, so he was not expecting that. So that was a miss sequence. He didn't realize it was armor green. So I remind him I can just reroute here. I think he's trying to figure out if he can flash anything to make this work. No, I can't block that Alarain. I don't know why I brought that thing out, because that's why I took it off. I said, no, never mind. I can't block. Oh, and he refreshes the Alarain. Yeah, that's a good play there. So I take it, and I'm forced to, Dream Bomb it. So we get rid of his Nexus, which will then remove all the buffs to his tokens, and then we send back the Alarain, which is the only one that can not be redirected by my Frost Tiger. Yeah, that Dream Bomb is very clutch in that point. Okay, so I couldn't block the Alarain. He restands her. Trash Peggy. So here we go. Start a turn. Up, there it is. Okay, this is end game. Get the Diamond Sanctuary. That would make Frost Tiger can have one thing unblockable. We drop a Valkyrie Mist to remove one. Here we're just doing extra things for no apparent reason. Just because we have the cores, and we're gonna. The game's over at this. This game is over here. We paying for the Elk. Okay, Elk is out, but he's not gonna do anything. I guess if he has a way to remove my Tiger or Dream Bomb us back or something, we have the Elk as insurance. But I'm explaining my level 2 effect here. Now that I have a Diamond Sanctuary out, one of my spirits is unblockable. So I just put it on the Tiger. Tiger goes in, cannot be blocked. And that is GG's. A very, very long game 1. Extremely long. So here we go to game 2. Game 2 looks like we're going first. We start off with the Diamond Sanctuary right away, putting 2 cores so they can't destroy it, and passing turn. Starts off with the Worker Ant-Man. Good first turn so that he can swing in unblocked and core up, so he gets an extra core and damage in. And going second, he has another core, so he's already at a core advantage here. We drop the Peggy. We need to get Peggy up there. And we get a second Diamond Sanctuary out already, so that's a good sign, because if we can get to Frost Tiger, we'll be able to swing 2 unblocked spirits, potentially. So go ahead and swing in with Peggy. Feeling pretty good about being able to block if needed. And now we see another Ant Undercity coming out. So we have it ready. He swings in with the Ant. He really could have cored up the Ants, so that way I can't block it. But we decided not to block it anyway. I think he wanted to try to see if we would trade, get rid of my Peggy there. We got 3 reduction on board now. We have Frost Tiger in hand. We should go for it. Oh, the Elk. Okay, we get the Elk out already. I believe Elk was a 1-up in this deck. I just explained to him what it does. If it blocks, it's basically if I get to block, it's not going anywhere. And with the level 2, if he doesn't affect my life, then it will burn him one. So we swing in with Peggy. He's deciding. I see that he has Deadly Balance in hand, which is not good for us because Peggy... Oh, he swifts in the Leaf Wolf. Could just core it up so that it can block much larger. I'm not sure why he's not. He decides to take the trade. He had extra cores there. Not sure why he didn't just core up and survive and then... Yeah, either way. So he's got that Deadly Balance in hand, and that's going to be a problem because Elk is great to have early on and be able to do some stuff, some shenanigans where he can't... But I think he knows he needs to deal with the Elk immediately. So he plays the Deadly Balance there. I think that's a misplay. I think he should have went to attack step, attacked to core up with the Ant-Man and then flashed in and popped his Ant-Man. But he decides to get a Mishandled in, so he can force me to discard. I see I had the suppression in hand. Suppression elk would have been so good there. Drops a... and he sets a burst card and then ends turn. He could have ramped one more if he decided to, but then I guess he wouldn't have been able to Mishandled that turn. So we're starting over, but we have an Odin. See, this is weird because I don't really want to bounce Mishandled back to hand because then he's going to force me to discard again. And then we Valkyrie miss, so we're going to blast it back to hand anyway. So he's going to force me to discard the last card I have in hand next turn if he decides to bring the Mishandled out. He does get to burst his plant trap when summoned. He's going to force me to exhaust some things. So no attack step for me. So no damage gets done, but we have a better board this time around. Or at least we have a board, I guess I should say, because since he cleared me last turn. So he's going to get to Mishandled again, forcing me to discard the Frost Tiger. That hurts. Frost Tiger was in hand. We could have really been doing some damage here, and we have to discard it. So that, again, that is painful to see. And Armor Tree comes down. Armor Tree is going to be interesting here. Allow him to ramp a bit. And we're not in a good spot. We are definitely not in a good spot anymore. We really needed that Frost Tiger to come down. And I think we just got greedy putting down the Odin type X. I let him know that Odin will refresh, and if I block, I'll be able to bounce still. So I can bounce the Mishandled. Or block it, depending on what he attacks with. Essentially, Mishandled is not going to do anything. He can swing in here with Dynas. I can decide to block. And I don't. I just take damage. And then he can't really swing with Mishandled because I can block and or bounce while blocking. So, get our turn back. We really need to do something with this card because if we attack, we're going to bounce and he can Mishandled again. So we're going to go ahead, core up our spirits, core up a Nexus. Call should be we're going to swing with the Odin type to bounce the Mishandled. We have no cards in hand anyway, so he can't force me to discard anything, and we'll restand next turn anyway. So I'll swing with Odin, bounce the Mishandled back. And he decides to take. Go ahead and swing in with Valkyrie Mist. He takes it again, goes down to 2. So now we're matched 2 for 2. We have no cards in hand. I don't know if that's an Ice Shield set. I don't think I have an Ice Shield set. I think that's something else. Yeah, we've got the double Sanctuary out, which is so nice to see, but not getting the Frost Tiger, Mishandled really hurt us there. Losing the Frost Tiger to the Mishandled really hurt us here. We see Archduke come down. Paying the full 6, cost 4, but he's got plenty of cores as he got to get some ramping in early on, and this is where he gets to do some stuff. So he can swing in. Well, he'll enter combat step, which will restand Odin, and then when he swings, he'll be able to play out Ant token. Able to bounce it, so technically there is a way we survive this turn, but he does have the Thorn Prison in hand, which this could be endgame. If that's not an Ice Shield, this could be the end for us. Oh, he's moving course around again. Interesting. Archduke is going to be a problem here. Yes, I can just block and bounce the token. So he goes attack step, plays the token. I think I have to block here to bounce the token away immediately. But this is where he declares the flash. I got too quick. I didn't let him flash. So he exhausts me first. Yep. but we have a Pharaoh Slash, so that'll let us pop the token anyway. But we have nothing else to block with, and he takes game 2. And we went to time here. So we played turns game 3, and we just got lucky to be able to drop a Chameleon Whip for game 3 immediately, which got us game 3. So even though we don't have gameplay of that, hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Hope you guys come back for the next one.